So a scientist takes a high dose of psilocybin and then he gets into an MRI machine to scan his own brain. We're going to talk about this on today's episode of Microdose U. I'm Dr. Dave. Welcome.
Enter the world of magic mushrooms with Microdose U.
Yes, this is going to be a very special episode. I came across this news report and I'm going to share everything with you. So you're really up to date on psilocybin, magic mushrooms, and some of the latest studies that are going on about how it can change your mental health situation. We're going to talk about that. Remember, I've got a lot of stuff for you here. I put a brand new episode out every single Wednesday and Friday, and always check the show notes of each episode because I've got some really special links for you. My goal is to help you reach the life and achieve the life that you want to be at and feel the way you want to feel every single day. I've been microdosing magic mushrooms for over 3 years now, and I will tell you, they have changed my life. And you're going to find out in today's episode that some of the things I'll share with you in from this article that just came out in the news is these are things that I've been talking about for over 3 years now. And now maybe some of the mainstream is only slowly starting to discuss these things. I mean, where have they been? This is some of the stuff's not new, but let me share with you what's going on in the news. So I'm going to be sharing this article that I came across online. I'll be reading a little bit of it and putting in my own thoughts, and let's have a pretty cool discussion about this. And by the way, I'm so glad you're here with me today. Without you, this podcast would not be able to happen. So thanks so much for being with me. Nico Dosenbach, an associate professor of neurology at Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis, got to find out firsthand what happens to the brain when it's on psychedelics. So what he did, he took a high dose of psilocybin. How high? I'll talk to you about that in just a second. And as he started tripping, he actually put himself into an MRI machine. His brain felt as though it turned into a computer. He said, I was the computer tablet and my thoughts were like computer thoughts, which of course makes no sense. He told CNN that. I was aware that this was not normal, but neither was it frightening. So this was done as part of a new study published in the journal Nature, which Dosenbach is a co-author, to unlock the psychedelic secrets behind the active compound in magic mushrooms. Scientists and dedicated trippers have long wondered, how is it that psilocybin and drugs like it, like LSD, can distort our perception of space, time, induce ego death, and also perhaps be a promising therapeutic tool. According to what researchers found, the drug may be disrupting a key network of areas in our brain, namely the ones that are involved in introspective thinking, like daydreaming and remembering. And as the study's title puts it, psilocybin desynchronizes the human brain. Excuse me, what have I been telling you guys for over 3 years now? I mean, Dr. Dave has been telling you that psilocybin rewires the brain. I guess that's the same as desynchronizing. I mean, I've been saying this forever to you guys. It rewires. It's not like an SSRI where you know, take it and it masks things and just sends a little bit more serotonin to your brain. But then the minute you stop taking the SSRI, it doesn't fix anything. Whereas magic mushrooms and other psychedelics actually rewire. The idea is that you're taking this system that's fundamental to the brain's ability to think about the self in relation to the world, and you're totally desynchronizing it temporarily. Josh Siegel, an instructor in psychiatry at WUS, said in a statement about the work. And the lasting effects this has on our brains appear to be positive from a therapeutic point of view, boosting what's known as plasticity, or our brain's ability to change and grow. Hello again. What has Dr. Dave been telling you guys? Same thing. I mean, are you going to wait till scientific studies come out? I mean, you're going to wait years and years to find out the research, or are you going to believe what Dr. Dave has been teaching for over 3 years now? Well, it's up to you. But I think since you're with me, you're probably going to, be on board with me. In the short term, this creates a psychedelic experience, Siegel added, but the longer term consequence is that it makes the brain more flexible and potentially more able to come into a healthier state. The study was conducted with 7 adult participants, including Dossenbach. They were given either a high 25 milligram dose of psilocybin or a dose of the mild stimulant Ritalin and had their brains scanned in an MRI machine around 18 times before, during, and 3 weeks after their trip. Some of them also took another dose of psilocybin between 6 and 12 months later. 6 and 12 months later, why wait so long? This seems weird to me. Like one dose and then you're going to wait another 6 months or 12 months. We can fix you faster than that. I promise that. And also, let me talk to you about dosing because they mentioned 25 milligrams of psilocybin here. Now, it might be confusing because they're talking about pure psilocybin as opposed to when we talk about weight of magic mushrooms, let's just say 1 gram. So generally, 1 gram of magic mushrooms has 1% psilocybin. So 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. So that would mean 10 milligrams of psilocybin. So what that means is he was actually taking 2.5 grams, if I did the math right, 2.5 grams of the equivalent of magic mushrooms. And that's a high dose, but it's not a heroic dose by any stretch of the imagination. It's somewhere between, a decent dose and a heroic dose, but it's not what you call like a really, really high dose, but it's high enough, I would say. But I hope you understand the dosing there. You don't have to really understand it, but let's just say what he took, 25 milligrams of psilocybin, is the equivalent of 2.5 grams of dried magic mushrooms. The scans showed the biggest disruption took place in the brain's default mode, a network of regions responsible for our sense of self, space, and time. This can be a good thing. It's essentially making the connectivity of our brain functions more flexible. From a psychotherapist standpoint, this could also help us break out of our brain's bad habits, guiding us out of our doomy thought patterns into greener pastures. A key point is that this is best pursued with a professional. Self-medicating isn't recommended, the researcher said. Well, I think they're trying to cover themselves because I've been doing this by myself on my own for over 3 years, especially microdosing. You don't need to be doing microdosing along with a professional. Again, this is not medical advice for you. This is from Dr. Dave, but this is from my experience and from many other people's experiences over the past 3+ years. To microdose, as long as you understand it, and again, that's why we offer one-on-one coaching with this. As long as you understand it, you don't really have to be doing this along with somebody that's a professional that's guiding you every step of the way. That's not really necessary. Even better, the brain scans showed that these benefits in brain connectivity subtly persist weeks after the psychedelic experience. I think it's longer than weeks, but not only that, that's another reason why I'm such a big proponent of microdosing, because in microdosing, you're constantly giving the brain a dose of this, a very small dose of psilocybin. So it's always working, always, causing the neuroplasticity and rewiring. It's always happening, as opposed to just taking a large dose one time, and it might last for a little while, but then it eventually doesn't last. So that's why I'm a tremendous proponent of microdosing. There's a massive effect initially, and when it's gone, a pinpoint effect remains, Dossenbach said in the statement. That's exactly what you'd want to see for a potential medicine. You wouldn't want people's brain networks to be obliterated for days, but then you also wouldn't want everything to snap back the way it was immediately. You want an effect that lasts long enough to make a difference. Well, in my mind, long enough to make a difference is forever. I mean, you don't want it to go back to the way it was after 6 months. You want to keep it change in its neuroplasticity, and you want it to be permanently rewired. And again, that's why I'm such a big proponent of microdosing, because it keeps you in that rewired state. It does not allow your brain to go back. It doesn't allow it to snap back the way it was. You don't want that. All told, the study has given us a hopeful glimpse at what's behind the magic of magic mushrooms and exemplifies what the revived interest in the field of psychedelic medicine can do. End of article. It's an interesting article. However, I don't think there's really anything new. They're kind of claiming that they this is like some revelation, but again, we've been talking about this forever. And even before my podcast started, even over 3 years ago, people have been talking about this. So again, you can wait if you want and wait till mainstream okays this. But those of us that are not waiting and want to change and want to feel better every single day, like right now, we're going with the microdosing protocol, which I teach. And I'm a firm believer that this works. And again, why wait around for these very slow studies to trickle in that are already going to tell us what we know? So I hope this helped you. Again, this is what I teach. It's changed my life. It's changed the lives of so many people that I know and work closely with. So again, I hope if you're experiencing depression or anxiety or various types of mental health issues, I should say, or you just want to become more spiritual, more focused, better at business, better at sports. There's so many benefits of microdosing that this article didn't even touch on, didn't even come close. This is like a real overview article, didn't even come close to touching on what I've been preaching to you for the past several years, that this not only helps mental health issues, but it will change your life in ways that you just would never believe. I told you one of the things I'm doing is I'm learning Japanese now with my 69-year-old brain, learning Japanese. And they say Japanese is one of the most difficult languages in the world to learn as a second language, especially if English is your first language. It's not easy. But I do believe the rewiring of my brain and this neuroplasticity with the microdosing has truly helped me get to where I want to be. I'm not fluent yet. I'm not even close. I'm not conversational, but guess what? One little step at a time, I'm getting there. If I hadn't done any of this, I wouldn't be anywhere. So same with you. I just really wish you a lot of luck on your journey. Let me know what I can do for you. Brand new episode every Wednesday and Friday. Check the show notes and also check out my website, microdoseu.com. Till next time, I'm Dr. Dave. Thanks so much for being here. Love you.